Adrena and Jerome Kimball are suing their neighbor, 30-year-old student Linda Berger, for vandalizing their truck with acid. Linda is countersuing for being falsely arrested.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 351 on the calendar in the matter of Kimball versus Berger. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat, please.
Mr. and Mrs. Kimball?
Yes.
You and the defendant are neighbors. According to your complaint, as a result of her causing a disturbance, you called the police, and in retaliation for that, she threw some chemical on your car causing damage.
Yes.
You want her to pay for that damage. Ms. Berger is countersuing for thousands of dollars because she says you had her falsely arrested. She's suing for malicious prosecution. So let's start. How long have you been living at your present location?
2 months.
And you moved in after Ms. Berger was already there?
No, ma'am. We was there quite a bit of time.
We've relocated.
We was there way before she was.
So you moved?
Right.
After this incident?
When she got out of jail, we moved.
How long had you been living in the location where this incident took place?
Almost 2 years.
And how long had Ms. Berger been living there?
About 5 months.
When did this incident occur?
October
October what?
8th, year 2000.
That was in the evening.
Yes.
Tell me what happened.
Previous to this incident, we had called the police several times on Miss Berger because of loud music. We called the manager first, and he was afraid to go down there. Then we would call the owner, and he said, oh, just call the police.
What kind of premises is it? An apartment?
It's trailer park. She was right next to us.
Playing the stereo at 8 o'clock in the afternoon.
You'll have a chance.
In the evening.
Pay attention. You'll have a chance.
Okay.
Prior to Ms. Berger moving in, did you have a neighbor in that trailer?
Yes.
Had you ever called the police on that neighbor?
Yes.
Why?
Because he was apparently doing drugs. They had a small child. We were concerned about the safety of the child because we could hear him yelling at his wife, and the child was crying.
Now, on the evening of October 8th, what happened?
The loud music, if you can call it that, it was kind of a booming noise, started, and
What time?
it was about 8:30. It was a
No,
Sunday
it wasn't. It
night.
was 7 o'clock in the evening.
Ms.
The
Berger?
sun wasn't even down
Ms.
yet.
Berger, I'm telling you, you will have a turn.
Okay.
Now, I'm telling you nicely for the second time. The third time, it isn't nice. I want you to trust me on that.
Okay.
Go ahead.
We listened to it for a while until we couldn't stand it, and so I called the manager. He wasn't home. I called the owner, and he said he couldn't do anything about it to call the police. So I called the police. They came out in about 10 minutes. The music stopped, and when the police left, she turned the music up twice as loud, so I called the police again. They came right back, and you could hear them arguing with her, and then they left, and she turned the music down. I was getting ready for bed right after that. My husband was in the kitchen, and he heard a man, and saw it. Well, he has to explain that.
Yeah, there was her boyfriend or some gentleman there was with her. He hollered, "Don't throw that!" And I looked out the window, and at the front of her trailer and where my truck was, she threw a liquid. So I put my shirt on, and
You actually saw her?
Yes, ma'am, I sure did. And then I presumed to go on out there after I got my shirt on. He was dragging her back in the trailer. She was screaming, cussing, "We're going to kill them people," and all kind of noise. So I looked around, and it was kind of a wet after, you know, the dew was already out. So I had a flashlight. I looked. I didn't see no dead places. I did see a little extra liquid, and I was scared she was going to come back out with a gun or a knife. So I returned into the trailer and locked the doors. And the next morning we discovered the damage. It was done, ate up the paint and everything. So we called the sheriff department, and he returned and made an investigation, and he tried to arrest her then, but she was hid in the trailer and wouldn't open it. So it was a misdemeanor. They couldn't break in. So they turned it over to the detectives, and the detectives later on, they charged her, the DA's office charged her, and then she had prior warrants. So when they picked her up, they put her in jail, and she had prior warrants, and she stayed there for quite some time due to the prior warrants. And that we have the police reports and all to verify it. And the pictures of the damage. And
I'd like to see pictures of the damage, and I'd like to see the estimates to have them repaired.
yes, ma'am. Also, our car, my wife's new car was sitting there, and this happened on the 8th. And between the 9th, that's when the police come out and did the estimate on the damage and looked at everything and tried to arrest her. Between the 9th and the 10th, somebody hit my car on the turtle shell with a broomstick, and that's what those other pictures are about. and we presumed it was her. We didn't have the enemy in the place, so when she got out of jail, we left immediately that day. We had our stuff moved that day as fast as we could. We just couldn't take
How'd you know I
another
was
chance.
getting out of jail?
What year is this truck?
The truck is a 1988, but it's a showpiece. I probably got over $20,000 in there just putting it back into original condition. It's a dually, black dually. It's a showpiece, honestly.
Was a show.
It was. It's got 16 coats of black lacquer paint on it, and believe it or not, it was over $3,000 when I had the truck painted, from original paint to the show class finish on the truck.
Yeah, well, they have an estimate to refinish, not any body work, but just to refinish it, $2,006.
There's nothing dented. It's just everything there. All the plastic and chrome's got to be replaced, and then the paint.
Okay. All right, Miss Berger, you recall the evening of the 8th of October?
Yes, I do.
All right. Is this the person with whom
He's
you were
my
living?
witness. He's to attest to a couple of statements made by the plaintiff.
Is he the person who was living with you at the time?
No, he's not.
Is he the person there at the time?
He lives across the street, yes.
Okay.
He's a mutual friend of theirs
Okay.
and of mine.
Okay, go ahead. Let me hear.
I was not anywhere near his truck.
Let's start out with the music. How
With the
many times
music.
did the police come out that evening?
Once.
Once or twice?
Twice.
That's-
Okay, it was like 7:30 in the...
Just a second. So the police came twice.
Yes.
They came the first time and told you to turn the music down.
Yes.
How much later did they come a second time?
Maybe a half hour, 45 minutes later.
Do you have a police report from Deputy
Yes, I
Conte?
do.
May I
Yes,
have
I
it,
do.
please?
And I have the detective's
Just give me the report. I'm a good reader. When the police came out for the second time, were you, in fact, told to turn the music down again?
Yes, and it was turned off.
The second time the police officer arrived at your home, Miss Berger, was it the same police officer who had arrived there the first time?
Yes,
And did you have a conversation with the officer the second time?
I believe so. I believe that he just asked me to turn off the stereo, and I turned it
No,
off.
he didn't. He came out the first time and told you to turn down the music.
Right.
When he had to come back the second time, he didn't tell you, would you please turn down the music again? You had a different kind of conversation with him.
This I do not recall,
Why would you not recall such a thing?
because I've been through a lot of emotional stress due to this whole situation. I do not remember that night. I went to jail for something I didn't, falsely was accused.
Just a second. Anybody who is arrested for something remembers, unless there is a long history of arrest, which we'll get to in a minute, as to why you were incarcerated for such a long time on this kind of a complaint. So you do not recall what the officer said to you the second time he was forced to come back to your location.
Basically, he told me to turn it down, or he was going to turn it off for me, basically, what it boiled
Okay,
down
so he was a
to.
little more annoyed this time.
Right.
That's better. So you turned it off, and according to your complaint, you did nothing.
No, I did not do anything. I went to sleep. I went right to bed.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Drina and Jerome Kimball say neighbor Linda Berger dumped acid on their truck. Linda denies the charge and is countersuing the Kimballs for filing false charges.
Okay. Now, there did come a time you were taken into custody. How much after this incident were you taken into custody?
A week or two, perhaps.
And when you were taken into custody, did you have a series of outstanding warrants?
I had one warrant for driving on suspended license. That had been dismissed. I tried to get an OR on this vandalism charge. OR was not granted. I had to stay in jail. I had to file for bail in order for me to be released.
Right.
Driving on suspended, I had time served, but they were not going to release me because I still had this vandalism charge outstanding. I had to bail out.
So my question to you is, the initial reason why you were detained was because you had an outstanding
No.
warrant.
There was two warrants. One was issued for vandalism, for the one that he had issued against me, and then there was the one for driving on a suspended license.
When was the warrant issued for driving on a suspended license?
A week before.
When were you supposed to appear in court?
For the driving on suspended? Mm-hmm. I don't remember the court date.
Was it 6 months before, 3 months
A
before?
week before. It was probably about a week or two before I was arrested for the vandalism.
Why didn't you appear in court?
I do not remember the reason now. And it's been months.
Well, Miss Berger, how many times have you been arrested?
2 or 3 different times. Traffic violations.
Have you ever been arrested for driving while under the influence of alcohol?
Yes.
When was the last time you were arrested for DWI?
3 years ago.
Is that when your license was suspended?
Yes.
How long have you been driving with a suspended license?
I no longer drive.
How long had you been driving with a suspended license?
Maybe 5 months.
Why had you not gone to get a driver's license?
Because it was suspended. It was revoked by the judge. There's no way I could have gotten one.
Suspended 3 years ago. This is not a life sentence. If it's suspended for 6 months or 12 months or 18 months, unless your license was permanently revoked.
I had to complete an AB 541 program.
Did you do that?
Yes. I just now completed it.
But you had not completed it prior.
Right.
Okay, so you were told 2 or 3 years ago that you could, in fact, get your license reinstated if you completed a program for alcohol abuse and driving. You chose not to do that, but just to go back and drive without it. Am I correct?
Right.
All right, so the judge got irritated and issued a warrant for your arrest. That warrant was the warrant that fell on you at the time you were taken into custody on their complaint. We have that in order?
No.
Of
Because
course
I was
I
still
do.
going to stay in custody no matter what. But the vandalism charge was going to stick. I was trying to get an OR. They would not release
Ms.
me. I had to
Berger,
bail out on it.
I want you to listen carefully to what I said.
Okay.
You were taken into custody on their complaint.
Correct.
And at the time you were taken into custody on their complaint, the outstanding warrant fell.
Correct. Okay.
Right. We understand that?
I understand.
Did there ever come a time, Miss Berger, prior to the time that you were taken into custody on the warrant, that the police came to your residence and you heard and saw him knock at the door and refused to open the door?
No.
That never happened.
No.
So the officer who made this report and said, we went to subject Berger's trailer home at the address. We knocked several times, however, she did not answer.
I wasn't home.
That was on the same evening as the incident. You said you just went to sleep.
And I was asleep. I don't remember. You asked the question if I ever not opened up the door for the police.
Yes.
Not knowingly.
Okay. Now, what happened when you were finally brought before the judge in regard to the outstanding warrant that you had for a suspended license?
Time served.
And you had been in jail for 10 days.
Yes.
What happened on this case?
Vandalism charge. I went before the judge and asked for an OR. I was denied. I had to have one of my friends bail me out.
And what happened with that case
The
ultimately?
case got dismissed.
When?
Monday, this past Tuesday. Sorry, this Monday was a holiday. This Tuesday.
When did you move out?
November 1st, 2000.
Is that why you didn't appear in court?
We didn't receive it until the day after the hearing.
It came through the old address, and we didn't receive it, so there was nowhere to go.
Stand up.
They just fell.
Tell me your name, sir.
My name is Walter Kirby.
All right, Mr. Kirby. Do you know anything about the evening of October 8th?
I only have 2 things about this case I can relate, Your Honor.
Look at me when you're relating both things, sir.
Okay, one is the morning after this happened, I was having a discussion with Jerry here. He was explaining to me what had happened to his truck, and I asked him if he saw her throw that, and he told me no, he hadn't seen her throw it.
That's not right.
And the only other thing I can attest to, Your Honor, is the condition of his truck. When he moved out on November 1st, I helped him load his stuff and get ready to leave, and she has pictures here of the truck at that time, and there was nothing wrong with the truck.
Can I see your photographs, please, Ms.
Yes.
Berger?
You know, they put a solution on it to stop the acids, and which made it not near as visible.
Those pictures were taken the day of my release.
Oh, it certainly looks a lot better.
They had a solution on it, an oil solution to stop the acid.
I understand that, but it certainly looks a lot better. I want you to take a look at these photographs.
Yeah.
How did we know when she took those pictures?
I have no idea when this picture
We
was
moved
taken.
out before she got out of jail because we were afraid to stay there. We moved November 1st
Well, that's a very, very good
when
question.
the detective told us she was
Just a
going to
second.
be released.
Just a second. Well, I don't know why otherwise she would take pictures of your truck. I mean, why would she take pictures of your truck?
They
You
put a
did take
solution.
these pictures.
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Okay. I want you to take a look at these pictures.
I have a whole roll.
The damage was on the other side, so, and this here it had the solution on it, and they had cleaned the truck, but they had put the solution on it, the oil solution, and it comes right back. It's right now. If you took pictures of it, it would still be right on there.
Still there.
So that's That's when we was moving out. We hooked up, and it did have the chemical solution on it, of course, and it, you know, like overnight or something, it comes back to a powder. It looked just like that again.
Okay.
Those pictures were taken the day that they were leaving.
Yeah,
'Cause
and
in the
I
other
never
roll,
discussed the
there's-
case with this gentleman here at all the next morning or any other morning.
There's pictures
These are
with
in
his
the
trailer
trailer.
being hooked up to the truck and them driving away.
No, I understand when they would take it.
Okay.
I don't think that you would take a picture.
He
Okay,
served
sir.
a warrant for her from the small claims court originally.
Just a minute.
Yeah.
I would assume that this gentleman has his own agenda. You still living in the same location, sir?
Yes.
Have you ever visited Miss Berger in her trailer?
I've never been inside her trailer. I've talked to her.
Has she ever
Not
been
right.
inside your home?
No,
No.
that's not right. But
Have a seat. Okay, let's get to the counterclaim first. There is no question in my mind that based upon the defendant's testimony, she was in fact held and, as a matter of fact, incarcerated on an old warrant and agreed to a sentence on that case of time served. So the time that she served may have been precipitated by the arrest on this case, which means that they found you as a result of this case. But when you agreed to plead guilty to time served and your penalty was 10 days in jail, you don't get to sue them for that. Do you understand? That was your debt to society. They don't pay for
Even
that.
if I was in jail a lot longer than 10 days, I was in jail for more like 14.
It doesn't make any difference if what you pled guilty, and then you agreed with your lawyer that the sentence of the court was going to be time served, which means your penalty was the time that you served in jail, whether it was 8 days or 10 days or 14 days or 20 days. That was your penalty. Could have been 60 days. That was your penalty. That's what you just told me. So you don't get $5,000
Wasn't
from
it
them.
up to that point?
Who asked you, Mr. Independent Witness?
Her penalty was up to that point where they said time served. She stayed in jail after that, Your
You
Honor.
can discuss that when you visit her later on. You get me?
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Now, let's get to the incident. The only question that I have, sir, is with regard to the damage. I have to take your word for the fact that initially you can shine up this thing and it looks pretty good, but within a day or 24 hours or 48 hours, some of the white powder comes up. There is no way in hell that you're getting $5,000 to repaint this 1988 truck. I want you to forget it. Now, they may be able to simonize it, buff it, repaint one layer, repaint 2 layers, but there's no way that I'm going to order her to pay $5,000 to put on 10 coats of paint on a 1988 truck. Especially one that doesn't clean up too badly. You have an estimate that says paint, $2,006 for refinishing the truck. That's what I'm ordering. Judgment for the plaintiff, your counterclaim's dismissed. That's it.
Thank you.
Parties are
Thank you, Your Honor.
excused. You may
Specialist Sheila Powell is suing 44-year-old maintenance worker Reuben Hughes and his wife Carol. Sheila says the couple's pit bulls attacked her 17-year-old daughter, Carrie.
Order. All rise.
Now, this is case number 24 on the calendar in the matter of Powell versus Hughes. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats.
Mrs. Powell, which of these 2 young ladies is your daughter?
Carrie in the blue.
Step up, please. Carrie? Carrie, you were attacked by 2 dogs.
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of dogs were they?
They were pit bulls.
Were you alone?
Yes, ma'am. I was going to visit a friend.
And what happened?
I was on the left-hand side of the street, and I looked around the neighborhood to check for dogs, you know, because I'm in a strange neighborhood and I don't really know. And all of a sudden, these dogs just ran out of the yard and attacked me. And I screamed and yelled until somebody finally came out.
Who came out?
It was a man that probably lived right across Caddy Corner from where the dogs were.
And what did he do?
He threw something at the dogs, and they ran off. And he took me into his house and wrapped my arm.
Were you bitten by the dogs?
Yes, ma'am.
After he wrapped something around your arms, what did you do?
He didn't have a telephone in his house, so we walked across, probably past one house, into the next yard, and used another neighbor's phone. And she phoned my mother. She phoned the police first, but they couldn't do anything, so she phoned my mother.
I was called. I had just returned home from a doctor's appointment and received a call from the lady, and she asked me to come and get my daughter because she had been attacked by 2 pit bulls.
And when you saw your daughter, describe what you saw.
She was bleeding, and she was crying, and I got nervous, and she had blood all over her, and I brought the coat to show that she had on that the dog's attacked, and it still has the blood stains and
Let me see it.
the tears. It's on the sleeves and the inseam.
Did you go to the hospital?
Yes, I took her, I called my husband and told him to meet me at Methodist Hospital, and I took her to the emergency room.
Do you have the report?
Yes.
I'd like to see it, please.
And also brought pictures of their house to show they don't have a fence around their house. Yeah, and I also brought a copy of the animal controls report.
I'd like to see it. Now, you folks are the owners of the dogs?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
And you were not at home when this occurred?
No, we were both at work
How long have you had the dogs?
since birth.
4 years.
4 years.
I read that your dogs did not have their vaccinations. Why not?
Because basically we keep the dogs in the house.
In the house,
Or in
outside
the-
of the house? They were outside of the house. That's why you're supposed to have
And
them
we also-
inoculated.
Pardon me?
That's why you're supposed to get them inoculated. That's the law, isn't it?
Yes.
The law is that they're supposed to be vaccinated every year for rabies, right?
Right.
When was the last time you had them inoculated for rabies?
When we picked them up from animal control, that was one of their procedures. They vaccinated them and gave them a homing device.
Before that?
Well, they had shots before that.
When they were, I think, like 8 weeks old or 10 weeks old.
So they
something
haven't
like
been to a
that.
vet since?
No illnesses, no reason to
No,
take
illness.
them.
You do have a reason because the law requires that they be given a shot for rabies and distemper every year. That's the law. So after this incident occurred, the dogs were taken into quarantine.
Yes.
Unfortunately for you, because you didn't have to go through the procedure of those very, very terrible shots. The dogs did not have rabies, yes.
Your Honor, I guess what she saw when she drove by our house, we don't have a fence from the driveway. Our yard is completely fenced in.
From the back.
From the back of the garage all the way around, and I've got the pictures. We do. What happens is, even though that it's fenced in, we still do not let our dogs run loose in the yard because they are pit bulls. When I came home from work Thursday evening, it was dark. It was in November. I get off work at 6:30. It's approximately 10 minutes to 7. And when I pulled up in the driveway, Valerie and China came off the porch and came up to the car.
Your 2 dogs?
Yes. And I was like, what's wrong with this picture? You know, something is not right here. So I got the flashlight out the back of the back seat of the car, and I let them in the front door. And then I walked around to the back apprehensively and saw that the door had been kicked in.
Does the back door open to the backyard?
Yes.
Yes.
Which is fenced in?
Yes.
Well, so what you're saying is someone tried to kick in the back door.
Right.
Your dogs got out.
Right.
But if they got out, they would have been in a fenced-in yard.
Your
Nah,
Honor.
they would have been able to get out of the yard, actually. Jump the fence or whatever.
Well, that's... Put your hand down, madam, please. I see it up. If I haven't recognized you, there's a reason. Got it?
Yes.
We have a fence, but, you know, they can get out if they wanted to.
So what difference does it make if you have a fence?
Well, when we have our dogs out, they're on chains anyway, and they're not out unless we're at home, okay? And like somebody tried...
So the fence is useless?
Yeah, okay, you say the fence is useless,
Okay.
yes.
Well,
I can
clearly
buy-
the
I can
fence
buy
was
that.
useless.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still there.
But it was useless because the dogs didn't go out the front door. The dogs went out the back door, right?
With
And
help.
if the dogs went back the back door, then the second line of defense is a fence. They can jump over the fence, as your husband says, then the fence is useless. So it's like having no fence.
Now, if we're at work and our dogs are locked in the house and somebody attempts to break in our house, Your Honor, I mean...
Yes,
what-
Miss Hughes. You just a second. Your point is someone tried to burglarize your house but was not successful, didn't take anything. Your dogs got out, and there was this very unfortunate incident, and you're really not responsible. Did you notify your homeowner's insurance? Do you have homeowner's
No.
insurance? You don't have homeowner's
No.
insurance. Well, you should have homeowner's insurance.
Animal control, when I got home, animal control left a thing on the doorknob, and it was very vague. It had nothing to say about, and it's right here, it had nothing to say that the dogs bit anybody or anything. You want it?
Yeah, just give them this.
Well, here, you can just have it. Here.
Thanks.
And what happened was, at this point, I'm still not even knowing that anyone was injured. I'm just finding the dogs out. So then, when my husband came home from work, the neighbor across the street said that they did bite a little girl. So I'm on the phone trying to call up animal control to get to the bottom of this and what's going on and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Animal control had came out and left that on the door. And the two dogs were right out there in the yard when they was there, okay? And he was able to walk up, you know, from what the neighbor across the street told me. He had threw treats to him before he got out and then put the notice on the door, okay? So before she got bit, to me, it seemed like animal control should have grabbed them dogs, you know, because they weren't on the on chains or nothing like that. Not to say that they're to blame or anything like that. I'm just expressing that animal control did come when the dogs was right out there in the yard, but did not take them.
It's not animal control's fault that you had not, in violation of the law, had your animals vaccinated from the time they were puppies. It's not their fault that for 10 days she had to wait to see whether or not she was going to have to go through a very painful series of shots for rabies because you had neglected to follow the law. You do not have homeowners insurance, which you should have to cover such situations, because that's why people have homeowners insurance. And bottom line is, you have somebody who's innocent, who's walking down the street, not doing anything wrong, and she is attacked by animals that you own. She has to be compensated for that because she is the innocent person. And while I'm not saying that you are guilty criminals, I'm saying guilty on this side, innocent on this side. Someone has to pay.
Basically, when you have pit bulls, because of
Yeah,
the
we
word,
got police report.
because of the word pit bulls,
Yeah, give it a police report.
it's hard to get homeowners insurance. Had it been a mutt, we probably wouldn't even have been here.
Then that's what you should have. Then that's what you should have gotten.
Give it police report.
You like dogs?
I love dogs.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You don't
the police
just.
report.
I'm speaking. You don't just love pit bulls. You love dogs.
I love all dogs.
Okay.
Just like you
So
can
if
be a
it's
bad parent, you can be a bad pit bull owner, and we're not the ones
Listen
like
to me.
that.
There are some lovely pit bulls, I am certain. But when you use the word pit bull, it usually means people who have those dogs for protection. You chose to get a dog that has the reputation when they bite you, they hurt you. You have to pay the consequences of that. And if you can't get, if my homeowner's insurance company said to me, we'll give you homeowner's insurance, but we're going to cut your insurance if the dogs that you choose to get are pit bulls, I would get a different variety of dog rather than not have homeowner's insurance. That's easy. Okay. What were your out-of-pocket expenses?
For Carrie's coat, I had paid $25. The emergency room was $60. The emergency room doctors to look at Carrie was $60. Clarion Health Hospital charged $132. Carrie's personal physician was $45, which was a total of $362. And then just for emotional stress and damages, that was a total of $4,638. And I also wanted to say, you know, Your Honor, those two pit bulls attacked my daughter. One had one arm and one had the other arm. And when I saw my daughter, I could have cried. And I was scared because I didn't know. I still don't know what the extent of the damage is going to be. You know, she's got scars from that. You know, so far the doctor said everything is okay, but we don't know long term.
You still have visible scars?
Yes, ma'am.
Could you step up? I'd like to see them.
My shirt is kind of... This is where the dog locked on this arm.
Here?
It locked on this one right here.
Yeah.
And then these are just where I kept trying to move my arm.
Here, here, and here?
Yes, ma'am.
And here?
Yes, ma'am.
And here?
Not too much. Just a little one right here.
Put your jacket back on. While I don't think that she's going to have any long-term problem with movement or anything else. She's fine, but she clearly is going to be permanently scarred as a result of those bites. I do find you, Mr. and Mrs. Hughes, reasonable people, but who did an unreasonable thing. You did an unreasonable thing when you failed to have your dogs vaccinated. That was just the start. By maintaining those 2 dogs, you had to take into consideration that if they didn't attack somebody, they were going to hurt them. They attacked somebody who was an innocent, had nothing to do with breaking into your house. And you anticipated that when you chose this breed of animal. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $4,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
2 vicious pit bulls on an attack. If they had been really vicious, you couldn't have stopped them.
When I got there, she had blood everywhere. Her arms were wrapped up. You know, she was crying and hysterical.
We keep them because we're in a very high crime area where they're always breaking in the house, drugs and all that.
I'm just glad it's over and I hope I never have to go through it again.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Carney versus Valles, step forward, please.
83-year-old Juanita Carney is suing her granddaughter, 35-year-old social caseworker Josephine Valles, for car repair bills. Josephine says her grandmother repossessed the car. She's countersuing for the money she put into the vehicle.
Miss Carney, the defendant is your granddaughter.
Yes, she is.
You co-signed a loan for your granddaughter to buy a car. She did not have good enough credit to take out a loan herself. You say it was your agreement with her that she would work on clearing her credit so that eventually she could put the car loan in her name. She did not do that. And a year and a half after the car was purchased, you repossessed the car. When you repossessed the car, you had it fixed, and you spent $2,779 to fix the car. You want her to pay you back for the money that you spent to fix up the car. Your granddaughter is countersuing. She wants you to reimburse her for the down payment that she put on the car, which was $1,500, and for all the payments that she made on the car during the time that she had the car. Is that right?
Yes.
When was this car purchased, Miss Carney?
January of '99.
And when did you repossess the car?
September 2000.
Who maintained insurance on the car?
She did, but she dropped it in June of 2000.
Did you drop the insurance?
Yes, I did.
Why?
Because she came and threatened to take the car from me. Because she wanted to take a loan out on her house, and she could not do that because my car payment was stopping her.
When you dropped the insurance on the car, did you continue to drive the car?
Yes.
Well, you can't do that. What kind of car was it?
It was a 98 Hyundai Elantra.
And how much was the total purchase price?
$12,092.
Did you make all the car payments on the car?
Yes, I did.
Okay, now, Miss Carney, you tell me why you repossessed the car.
During our transaction of the car, the salesman said that there was a mark in the credit report that he could not put it in her name. It had to be in my name solely. I asked her, are you willing to put it in your name once you clear up your credit? And she said yes, because one of the black thing that's on the credit is a mistake, and I can clear that, and I'll be glad to do it. And with that promise, I went ahead and allowed it to be in my name, knowing that I could be liable if anything would happen. Right before repossession, I was told that it was wrecked, and she was still driving it around. So I repossessed it. I took the car to a repair shop, and I have the receipts for both of them.
Where is the car now, Miss Carney?
I resold it. I had to fix it, and somebody else did.
Just a second. You sold it?
Yeah.
What did you sell it for?
$7,000.
Who did you sell it to?
To my daughter's friend.
She's taking over the payment. She didn't sell it. And the car was not wrecked when whoever picked it up took it.
Yes, it was.
Just a second.
There was nothing wrong with the car when it was taken from me.
Oh my
I was at work, and when I went out, the car was gone. There was nothing wrong with the car.
Do you have photographs of the car when the car was taken?
No, I didn't take any. The only thing that was apparent was a broken windshield. It was cracked. But what made it so expensive is that both airbags were deflated.
Your problem is that you dropped the insurance and continued to drive in the car. And if you did that, That rendered your grandmother liable. If you had an accident and hurt somebody and the car is in her name, they can take her house, they can get a judgment against her. So in my judgment, she had an absolute right, based upon the fact that you had no insurance, even though she might not have known it at the time, to take back the car. So you acted irresponsibly. So on your counterclaim, you're getting nothing. My problem is, Ms. Carney, that you took it upon yourself to gratuitously fix this car. You can't render her liable for that. And you're not going to get any money either. Do you have a car now?
Yes, I do.
What kind of a car do you have?
A 2001 Hyundai Elantra.
How'd you get it?
I financed it in October of 2000.
So right after your grandmother took back this car? So that you could have done what your grandmother asked
Not
you to
back
do
in
in
June, I
September.
couldn't have.
Well, did you call her in August and tell her you could do it?
No, I did
No.
not.
Your counterclaim's dismissed. So's your lawsuit.
Parties are excused.
Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Panani lecture ke bamung study ko atom او کم چې فنډامنټل پارټیکل اف کیمستري دي دا ټول به یو سټډي کو چې دا څه ته وایي اول خو تعریف کو د کیمستري چې کیمستري څه ته وایي صحیح ده نو کیمستري چې کوم ده دا د ساینس هغه برانچ دی په کوم کې چې موږ سټډي کو د میټر نو اول پیژنو چې دا میټر څه ته وایي صحیح ده د هغه نه پس بیا راځو اټم ته او د نورو چې کوم فنډامنټل پارټیکل دی هغه ته راځو اول دی میټر هر هغه شي ته وایي anything which occupies space and has mass is called matter. میټر هر هغه شی چې کوم زموږ سره ځای نیسي او وزن لري دې ته څه وایي میټر anything which occupies space and has mass is called matter. دا خو میټر دی اوس راځو اټم ته هغه نه بعد چې کوم دی کمپاؤنډ څه ته وایي اټم کې چې کوم دی زموږ سره کم پارټیکل دی اټم جوړله څه نه دی نو د اټم تعریف داسې دی چې د smallest particle of matter which may or may not exist freely in nature. اټم زمون سره هغه smallest particle دی چې دا زمون سره په دې یونیورس کې فریلی او پریلی پاتې کېدی نشي اوس د دې څه مطلب دی د دې نه مطلب دی چې زمون سره داسې اټم شته چې هغه چې کوم دی فریلی په یونیورس کې پاتې کېږي without combining to other atoms لکه فار ایگزامپل زمون سره چې کوم دی هیلیم دی یا قشنیان دی ارګان دی کرپټان دی زینان دی دا ټول چې کوم دی زمون سره فریلی پاتې کېدی شي او داسې اټم هم شته چې هغه چې کوم دی زمون سره فریلی په نیچر کې ځان له نشي پاتې کېدی لکه هایدروجن شو سوډیم شو پوټاشیم شو کاربن شو نایټروجن اکسیجن فلورین کلورین نقشن ډېر مثالونه دي چې کوم دا زمون سره هغه اټمونه دي چې کوم فریلی نشي پاتې کېدی په نیچر کې بیا چې کوم دی اټم چې کوم دی زمون سره مینلی د دریو پارټیکل نه جوړ دی چې په هغه کې نمبر 1 راځي الکترون نمبر 2 پروټون نمبر 3 چې کوم پارټیکل دی هغه دی نیوټران. دا چې کوم زمون سره دی مین 3 پارټیکل. اوس دا مین 3 پارټیکل کې نمبر 1 زمون سره دی الکترون. الکترون هغه پارټیکل دی چې کوم زمون سره د اټم د نیوکلیس نه ګل چاپیره تاویږي. په دې باندې چې کوم دی نیگیټیو چارج، په الکترون کوم چارج دی نیگیټیو چارج، په الکترون باندې نیگیټیو چارج او پروټون چې کوم دی دننه نیوکلیس کې او نیوټرون هم په نیوکلیس کې. پروټون چې کوم دی دا پازیټیو چارج او نیوټرون چې کوم دی دا نیوټرل او دا چې کوم دی پازیټیو چارج. اوس چې کله یو اټم بانډ کیږي کنه نو دا اټم چې کله بانډ کیږي دا د څه په وجه بانډ کیږي؟ دا د الکترون په وجه. د څه په وجه؟ الکترون. یو اټم چې کله د بل اټم سره بانډ کیږي نو دلته چې کوم دی د الکترون د وجې بانډ کیږي. لکه فار ایگزامپل زمون سره یو اټم دی هایدروجن، بل دی فلورین. کله چې دا بانډ کیږي تاسو ته پته ده چې د هایدروجن په لاس شل کې یو الکترون دی او د فلورین په لاس شل کې 7 الکترون دي. نو دته چې کوم دی د یو الکترون ضرورت دی او دته د یو الکترون پوره ضرورت دی چې د لاس شل کې اډ شي او د لاس شل کې 2 شي. نو دا چې کوم دی لاس شل به کمپلیټ شي نو دا دوانه اټمونه به سټیبل شي. نو دا دوانه به چې کوم دی الکترون یو بل سره شیر کی او بانډ به جوړ شي. د لاس شل چې کوم الکترون د هایدروجن دی او کم الکترون چې د فلورین دی دا به شیر کی نو دا زمون سره به بانډ جوړ شي او دوانه اټمونه به چې کوم دی سټیبل شي. ٹھیک ده. نو دا زمون سره وو فنډامنټل پارټیکل اف کیمستري. پاکه چې کوم نمبر 1 اټم هم تیوا. په نیکسټ لیکچر کې به چې کوم دی منګه نور کوم چې فنډامنټل پارټیکل دی دا به وو او بل چې کوم دی موږ به نیوکلیس سټډي کوو چې نیوکلیس کې څه دي او مطلب پروټون دی نیوټرون دی د ماس څونه دی، چارج پې کم دی، کار یې څه دی. دغشان الکترون به هم سټډي کوو، اټمونه به هم سټډي کوو چې کم اټمونو کمې پراپرټۍ نه دي. صحیح ده. نو پیریډک ټیبل کې به زم کمپلیټ انشاءالله هر یو اټم به ډیټیل ډسکس کوو. بس د نن لپاره چې کوم دی دا لیکچر پوره